Hello, my gummies. How are you doing today? As you can see, we have a special guest with us today. This is my niece, Miss Antinette, and she has her own YouTube channel, Antinette Develops. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So hi, Gummies. My name is Antinette, and I am the founder of AntinetteDevelops.com, and it's my platform where I am totally committed to seeing people win. Youth, parents, professionals, I'm totally committed to seeing people win. So on my platform, I talk about ways in which you can be the best that you can be. So that's what I do on AntinetteDevelops.com. Check it out when you get a chance.
I will put a link down in the description box so that you can click on it and check her out.
Yeah.
So the reason why we are together today is we were watching Killer Mike. She knows that I do the channel, whatever, and she was like, Auntie, you have to watch Killer Mike. So I was like, okay. And I said, well, since you suggested it, it is good, a good subject. So come on over, had a little dinner, a little wine,
Right.
and now we want to talk about the episode. Now, I ain't doing my research. What's the name of the episode?
Okay, it's episode 1.
Yes, it's the first episode.
It's about buying black, in the black community. I
yes.
don't even know the whole episode
Me
name,
either.
but that's what it's about.
Killer Mike is basically, he's a rapper, and from what I understand, he's been all over social media lately, right?
Yes.
He did interviews on The Breakfast Club. He's been on a few other episodes just talking about the black community and just trying to help us be better. And so he has a Netflix special, and that's what we watched an episode on Netflix. And he was just stating, he gave some statistics in reference to how long the black dollar lasts in the black community, and according to his numbers, it only lasts in the black community for about 6 hours. And he was saying that he remembers his father or his grandfather talking to him about it, and how back in the day before segregation, obviously the black dollar lasted a lot longer in the community, because in order to do anything, for you to eat, for you to a dentist or a doctor's, you had to basically spend your money into the community because of segregation. But now, now we're able to spend our dollar anywhere, and unfortunately we don't have the same craftsmanship, so to speak, or the same type of businesses in the black community that we had before. So he decided to go on a 3-day journey to only buy black. So that's what we want to talk about today.
Yes. Oh my God, it was so interesting to watch. I actually stumbled across Killer Mike, because in the 2016 election, or the last election, he played a very big role in that, because he's like an advocate for the black community. He really talks about, he has a real big voice in the black community, and that's why I really told my aunt, like, we should watch this, or you should at least watch this documentary. Can I just say, I was not expecting what I watched at first. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I seen it on Jenny Mize from The Real. I seen it on her Instagram page, and she was saying like how we should all watch this documentary. And when I watched it, although, because I'm a bigger picture thinker, it was good. I got the bigger scheme of things. But if you are not into like nudity, yes, I would not. But it's only brief. It is brief.
Because there's a episode where he was like, I want to go to a business that he knows that has been in the community for a long time, and it happened to be a strip club.
Because us black folks, we are good at entertaining.
Adult entertainment.
Yes.
But for the first episode is like a short period of time, so if you want to, you can kind of fast forward through that part, because it wasn't long, and if you fast forward it, it's not like you will lose the point of the story.
Right.
So, the funny part to me about the strip club is there was a stripper who was Asian. He was like, I'm sorry, I'm doing black for 3 days, so I can't give you any money. I thought that was kind of funny and rude at the same time. But anywho, moving right along, right? So then his next stop was trying to find transportation, because in the 3 days he had to do a concert in Athens. So he had to find transportation, because he was saying that even with Uber or Lyft, those are not black-owned companies. So, actually, couldn't take taking transportation around the city, Uber or Lyft, he could not do that because, they weren't black owned. But then he also had to find transportation to Athens because he was doing a concert. So he did find a bus company that was black owned. That was good. And then his next thing was food. How was he going to eat? Yep. So he found a grocery store in his neighborhood that was owned by
the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
Yes, which was so. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about Brother Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, but it was so interesting to see that in the black community, the Nation of Islam was the ones that had a plan set in a place where we can get black food, we can get our food from black farms.
Yes.
So you can say what you want about the Nation of Islam, but they got our back. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And then he made a good point about sometimes even if you find grocery stores, even in a book that my husband read called The Year
Black.
Yeah. It was a couple who decided to do the same thing, but they did it for a year, and they decided to only patronize black-owned businesses. But and one of the things that they mentioned was the struggle is the fact that they would find a black store that sold food, but not a lot of them had variety in their produce because of the fact that there's not a lot of black farmers. So they couldn't get their food from black farms, so it was mostly canned or frozen or foods like that. But he found a store, and they actually had some produce, and he said that matter of fact, the farm was ran by the Nation of Islam too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they were, so they were full, top to bottom black. And then his recreation of smoking the natural herb from the earth, he could not partake in that either. But I said that all the time. I've said that years ago when I talk to people and they were like, "Oh, you working for the white man?" I'm like, "Well, you working for the white man too."
Yeah.
Just because the person that you're looking at looks like you, but he's not the one flying these planes.
Nope.
He's not the one that's over in Jamaica. He's not the person who is overseeing that production and getting it out of the country and bringing it over here to the States and put it on the street corner, whatever. So for 3 days he couldn't smoke his herb because even though he purchased it from the black man, it was still a white man's farm that he was getting the weed from, whatever. So I thought that was funny as well.
Very interesting. Yes, very interesting. What I liked about the episode was how he brought awareness to the black businesses. Like he talked about WeBuyBlack.com. That's something that I seen on Instagram, but it was nice to see if you watch this episode. Like I know a lot of people are going to Google or research WeBuyBlack.com. Also Figures, the cell phone company. I thought that was real interesting to know that it's a black owned cell phone company out here. So once your 2-year plans are up, we have to now go to Figures and see what's up with them. So we got to support our black businesses.
And that's his actual last name.
Right.
The guy's last name is actually Figures, and they have a cell phone. And I'm gonna have to go back. I went on the website briefly to look at it, but I'm gonna have to go back because I'm kind of curious as to how they're able to do that. How was he able to provide cell phone service? Because it's about the cell phone towers, and I know like Verizon and Sprint and AT&T, they have their own cell phone towers. Right. So I'm really interested in how he's able to provide service. Like, and I guess they probably wouldn't have that level of detail necessarily on their website, but I'm just curious, like, are they renting,
or maybe
the usage of it or something? Yeah, because
that's...
I'm really curious as to how they do that, because that's the biggest part of the cell phone, making sure that you have access to towers, because if you don't,
your cell phone service. Right. So I definitely want to switch over without getting the same
drop calls.
Yes, right. I don't want that.
Right. So I'm really curious as to how that all works or whatever. But yeah, that was good to see that. And then We Buy Black. I hadn't heard of the website before this special whatever, but
they have a lot of things on there. Well, as we've seen, we got soap, toothpaste. They even have notebooks I seen on there, deodorant. They have so much stuff on there.
Clothes,
so it's just like dish detergent, laundry detergent, everything.
Yeah. So anything they African Americans make, and then plus too, it's good to see how many different things that we're into.
Right.
Because before the show, I would have never known that there was an actual cell phone company started by a black man.
Yes, me either. So it really made me proud to even watch the episode, even though it made me think about like more things that we need to initiate or the type of businesses that black people need to start. Because I see that we're good at entertaining, but when it comes to like actually
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Get into other areas.
Yeah, areas, like, right.
Yeah.
We got to do better with that. Grocery stores, making cars, farms. We got to do better with that.
And the thing about it is, though, and I didn't really do my research, but I was thinking we invent things because I know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think a black man had something to do with the invention of the cell phones, right? Didn't he create the battery or something? So, I mean, we create things, or we come up with these ideas, or we invent certain things, but then as far as doing things, as far as actually starting a company, of being a cell phone provider, or being the person who creates the other components for the cell phone, and actually purchasing cell phone companies, or like you're saying, again, different inventions through the years. I know black people have had a hand in inventing things that they use in the cars, but where is the full company, the full manufacturer, and the full factory that a black person owns to make the car to get, and then put it out onto a showroom floor.
Right.
So, we definitely had our hand in the inventions, but
we got to keep the inventions to ourselves and not sell them off to people.
Right. Hold that patent. Right?
Really. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was really good too. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he talked about the Black Farmer Collaborative. I never even knew of that there was a Black Farmer Collaborative. So now I have to do some research on my own to figure out what that is and where do they send their vegetables, so that hopefully, I can be more supportive of that, because I always like to support black businesses. So I definitely going to research the Black Farmer Collaborative to see, where their farms are.
Delaware. There could be one in Delaware right here.
Or the tri-state area.
Yep.
See what's going on.
Yep. And I noticed that right now people are so health conscious. Like, I had dinner yesterday with two people from my church, and one of the gentleman that was with us, he was saying how there are local farms that he goes to buy his produce or to buy his meat from directly, because we've heard the stories about the supermarkets adding slush to the meats, and when you're buying chicken, they mistreat the chicken, or the cows are being injected with certain colors and stuff, so that when you get the meat, it looks like it's still good, but it actually expired like a week ago, whatever. So my thing is, if there is black farms around, we should be able to do the same thing, be able to go directly to the farm to get it, or like you said, find out where their produce or where their meats are being sold, and patronize them or whatever. Because I'm just thinking, in our area, how hard do you think it would be to go to buy all black? Like, for instance, can you think of a gas station? Do you know of any black owned gas stations?
No, I don't know of any black-owned gas station. I think it would be really hard. If you're trying to find soul food, because I'm from Wilmington, so if you're trying to find soul food, I think it's really easy, because that's whenever I eat out, I always support black businesses. I always go to soul food. But if I'm trying to go to a grocery store, it's really hard for me to go to a black grocery store. If I'm trying to find some black clothing, we do have a lot of people online, but it's really hard for you to find like black underwear, black bras, black like necessities.
Right.
I feel like it's only one store that I can go to, that I do go to get my toothpaste, to get my oils and stuff like that. But if I really wanted to live black, it would really be hard.
It would be
it would definitely be some challenges. And that's why I'm glad he did his documentary. So I'm hope that it planted a seed in some people. Like, first of all, we need to keep our dollar in our community. It's so important. That doesn't mean that we can't spend outside our community.
Right.
But it does mean that the more we recycle our dollar in our community, the more that we're able to do more for ourselves in our community, for one.
So one of the things that he said was back in the day when they were buying black, that he felt like our community was stronger. Do you think that's correct?
Yes.
How do you think it was stronger then than it is now?
I feel like it was stronger because when you rely on, like, just say for instance, like with the medical field, for instance, and you know that a lot of the times when it comes to the medical field, they experiment on black folks. That's just what it is with the Tuskegee stuff and all that. So back then, if we are using black doctors, for instance, we wouldn't have to so much worry about the testing or trying to figure out whether or not these tests that we are getting from these doctors really are for us, or are they just really trying to make an experiment on us? Like, we could really, like, trust the services that we're receiving from this point. Like, even with the, like, say, going to a grocery store. Now, in my community, every store on the corner is ran by Arabs or whatever.
And they so mean.
They don't give you the proper customer
They
service.
Trust,
they look
treat
at
you like you're going to steal.
Yeah, they look at you like you're going to steal or whatever, and that's not okay. So for instance, now that I work in the community or whatever, if I wanted to actually go to that store to say, you know what, the school in this community, we need books. I don't feel as confident that I would get my money back that I supported into that store, where if it was a black-owned business, because I know our businesses and how we support each other. I know if I go into a black-owned business, even if we only made $100 that day, if you go in there and say, yo, we need some donations for the store or for the school, they'll have no problem giving their 10% or their 20% to help the school. And that's why I think it's important for us to spend and support our own, because we support each other. Like, wholeheartedly. It don't even matter if we collecting food stamps all day. Like, we're going to find a way to support each other. So that's why.
So that brings me to another question. So how is that possible? So what happened? Because at once upon a time, some of those stores were owned by black people. And then, I guess through, different generations, maybe when that person died off, they didn't have a legacy to leave that to, whatever. How is it that that's possible for Asians? Because, our hair supplies and stuff like that comes from the Asians. How is it possible for other countries or other people to set up stores in our community, and we accept their behavior and we don't shut them down, basically, and open up our own stores? Why? I wonder why.
Why is that so? I feel like it's because, first of all, a lot of us in our community, that's all we know. All we know is somebody else owning our corner stores. We don't know, like, that's our corner store, like, these are our communities.
Well, yeah, because, I think that's a good question, because, and when you think about it, we have, in the black community, we have so much raw talent.
We do.
We have a lot of raw talent, but for whatever reason, when it comes to setting up successful businesses, we struggle. We really do. Because I think about Rashes. He has been a store owner on Market Street for as long as I can remember. But there's other businesses that have come. There has been other hair salons that who are owned by black people that I know. People used, the salons that used to do my hair, when I had little hair, and they have long gone. Like, they have shut their doors for whatever reason. They haven't been able to build the same successful business with the same longevity in the same neighborhood with people that look like them.
I think I went to the seminar the other day, and this lady has said the reason why, like, the foreigner businesses succeed and, like, the black businesses don't is because for the foreigners, when they create their business, they think of it as a family business. So in the business, you have everybody in your family working some role of the business. Whereas in black businesses, they always say, like, this is my business. It's never like a family business. So you don't have a lot of people in your family. Like, if you go to sleep and you can't come in tomorrow, who's coming in after you? How does your daughter or your son say, you know what, this is my mom's business, this is our business, so my mom can't come in today, now I got to figure out how I'm going to do it. So I think that's another way, the reason why our businesses don't succeed. But also, I wanted to say that I know a lot of times foreigners, when they come into the States, they get a bonus or I
heard that wasn't true. I've heard from people who are coming from other countries that said that wasn't true.
That's not true?
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I
heard
know.
that they get incentives.
That's what I heard too. I heard that too. But I've talked to people who have come from, like, Africa or whatever, and they've had successful businesses at home and they wanted to do that here, and they said that there is no government money. So I don't know, is this reserved for certain cultures, is it reserved for certain type of businesses, or what it is? I don't know, but I've talked, and that wasn't just one person. I've heard that from, like, a few people who said that wasn't true. So I don't know.
So now I gotta ask some
people. Yeah, we gotta do some research to figure out.
Definitely, because I feel like if we were to go to, as Americans, if we was to go to, like, Africa, I was talking to somebody from Ghana, for instance, and I know a lot of Ghana is doing a lot of redevelopment, and they want their people from America to come back to Ghana and, develop that country or whatever. But they were saying, like, if me as an American was to come to Ghana, I would have so many benefits available to me because I'm coming from America, and they would see me as some type of resource. So I'm
Okay.
thinking that that's how, even
It
though
is
if they
coming
don't,
here.
coming here, even if they don't say like this is your benefit, like you get this check or whatever. But if you come here and you create a business, I'm sure that you get some type of, you can qualify for this type of loan,
Right.
being a foreigner. You can qualify
Right.
for certain things that we living here just don't qualify for. So that's what I think. But
so I don't know. Yeah, we would have to do some more research
Yeah.
to figure that out, because, like I said, I've heard that. I've heard both. I've heard people say, "Oh no, yes they do, yes they do," but then I've heard other people saying no. So maybe the people who are saying no haven't found that right resource to get the money that they need in order to start a business or whatever.
Right. That's what I think too. Because I know you gotta get, it gotta be some type of benefit. Because if I was to leave here and go to Canada, you get some benefit, but it don't even gotta be Africa. You get some type of benefit from just coming. Oh, okay. Somebody, if you watch Gummies, if you know,
drop it in the comment section if you know.
I really heard that was true. So I really would like to know.
Yeah,
we would like to know.
I would like to know too, because drop that information in the comment section for us if you could. But I think about that all the time though when I'm driving through, different neighborhoods or whatever, and like I say, I see businesses that are valuable. But you made a good point too, as far as support, because I've worked now. When I used to work at my old company, I'm not going to say their name, but when I worked at a company, it was the best experience I had with other cultures thus far. I worked with people who were from Africa. I worked with people from Cambodia, who were from Puerto Rico, from so many different places. And it was definitely an eye-opening experience for me. And they support their family, because my one coworker who was from Kenya, what they did is the family would come over, whether it be the mother, the father, brother, sister, whoever, they go come, they get a job, they get themselves set up, they purchase a home, and then they sponsor another family member. That family member comes with you, they live with you, they're required to get a job, they get their home, and then they sponsor a family member. So it seems like it's a very tight-knit, or at one point it was him, his brother, the mom, the dad, like it was a bunch of people living. And when you purchase your home, whatever family members who are here, they come to your house, they clean it, they help you move your furniture in, they cutting grass. Like it's a community, like it's a family thing to help you get set up, because they know that now you're going to sponsor the next family member to come over. And that's the way it is in a lot of business, like even in the nail salons. Like the nail salon that I go to is the it's the couple. It's their salon. Their kids are in there working. They have a cousin that's in there working, and then the cousin, had their spouse was working. It's like a family affair. Yeah,
I had a little girl. She was like 12, taking the nail polish off my nails. I'm like, hold up, is this okay? She's about to put the nail polish on my. I'm like, hold up. Hold on now. Where's your mom?
Exactly.
But,
am I getting a 12-year-old discount?
Okay.
What you're not going to do.
Just give anything to me.
Right, exactly.
So, but they make it a family affair. And I think that we got to change that mind. I think first, as us as black people, for us to really live black, we really got to change our mentality of, like, what type of businesses do we really need? It's okay to be entertainers. And, you do want to have the... I guess like the strip clubs and the clubs. I know a lot of the in Delaware, the entertainment scene is coming on fire. It's becoming beautiful, but that's cute.
Right.
But what about
longevity,
like basic needs? Like if somebody was to if something was to happen today, tomorrow, all we really do have to rely on is like the churches in our communities. But what about the resources, like our grocery stores? Like we need grocery stores.
I saw an article online where there is a church where they started a farm.
Oh,
they started a farm, and then they have, so if they have families that are in need, because the pastor noticed that one of the what's the word I'm looking for? The need that was repeated over request was food. So he started a farm, and it was a black church too. I wish I had. I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna drop the information down in the comment section.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, because he started a farm, and I believe it's worked by church members or whatever, so they support it.
Yeah,
and then if there's a family in need or whatever, you have access to fresh produce that they make. Yeah, so I thought that was
Yeah,
really
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. We need farms, grocery stores. We need all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, not even just for the simple fact of just supporting your own community, but the way that the world is going with this whole, ozone layer and all this other stuff. And like I said, and just the chemicals and stuff that you put in the food. The only way you can control how produce is made or how animals are prepared is if you are the one in control of it. If you're the one doing it.
That's it.
Yeah, that is so true.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was good talk.
Yeah, it was a good
You got
talk.
any other points? Because me, like a special person, I took a couple of notes, but of course they're on the telephone that we're using to record, so we're relying on her notes to use as our talking points.
No, I think that was it. I just wanted to point out, like, you did talk about the recycling dollar, but in the Asian community, let's just be clear, in the Asian community, their dollar stays within their community for 28 days.
Right.
And for the Jewish community, their dollar stays within their community for between 21 and 22 days.
Right.
And in the African American community, like my aunt said, 6 hours.
Right.
We got to do better.
6 hours, yeah.
We got to do better.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about, too, is when we are talking about our Black businesses, because we were talking about how other cultures seem to be a little bit more close-knit. And I do think we're lacking in that because I remember I was getting my hair cut and there's a soul food restaurant. I'm not going to say their name. Okay. I can't remember it anyway. But it's a soul food restaurant that the barbers wanted to patronize because they were like, we're going to patronize a Black company because the guy, I guess, has an Instagram account. Okay. So the barbers were following the guy online. I was like, all right, let's give him some business. So they called and they wanted to place their order. But they had questions, right? Because it's their first time ordering with him. And the guy was like, well, look, I'm sorry, but I got food on the grill. I have customers in here. I don't have time to read the menu to you. Mm. He was just like, so, if you want to place the order, you can go ahead or whatever. And I said, now, you're not going to talk to me in any kind of way, and I'm trying to give you my little dollars. I don't force people to take my money. That's just me. I don't care. And my thing is, I don't care who you are.
Right.
I'm not, I've had a few run-ins where I've, had to tell a few people what I thought. Right, but for the most part, how I express my dissatisfaction, I'm just not going to patronize you. I'll be like, oh, okay, you have a nice day. And then you'll never see me again, ever. So, and I feel like in that situation, why didn't he have like a niece, a cousin, or somebody in there to help him? And like, all right, Saturday is pretty busy. I'm going to, because like you said, it's his business. And of course, he's everything. He's answering the phone. Yeah. He's the cook. He's the cashier. So why couldn't he get, and I don't know, what faith he serves, whatever, like if he's in the Nation of Islam, maybe there's some young teenager there who could have helped, or if he's a part of a church community, or like I said, or even his own immediate family to say to some woman, or if he's a wife. Right. And that's the other thing. Sometimes, as spouses, we may have to be that support. Like, even though you may have your own 9-to-5 Monday through Friday, if your husband has a business, sweetie, you gotta on Saturday, yes, it's our business because that's how we're gonna pay this mortgage up here. But anyway, so I was just like, he needs help. I don't know if it's a situation maybe he didn't ask anybody for help, maybe he wasn't expecting things to get that busy or whatever. Because my thing is, we sometimes lack with that customer service. My thing is, instead of saying it like that, he could have been like, you know what, sir, I appreciate your business. I got a lot going on. Things are kind of direct to a website. Exactly. But like I have a website. If you don't mind, can you please take a look at the website? And if you have additional questions, maybe call me back in about 20 minutes, and I'll be able to assist you. Right. And I think that's where we also lack. Like we're trying to start businesses, which is cool. Right. But also, it's important for us as business owners, y'all. We have to get educated. Yes. We have to get trained. Yes. Educated and training. So many businesses, and that's where they lack. It's not because of their skin. Like I said, because I feel like we're naturally talented. Like how many people do we know in our family who could legit start a soul food restaurant? Who could right? Who could legit start a hair salon because they got, so skills, many skills, but they don't have the the business skills behind it. And that's how a lot of our businesses fail because we feel like sometimes we get a little puffed up and be like, what? I know I can cook. Yeah, you can cook, but you don't know how to balance that cash register. Right, and how do you capitalize off of it? And how do you invest? And that's the other thing, too. I think we need to do better with investing back into our businesses to make things better. Yeah. Investing into ourselves and into our businesses, like investing into your skill set. At some point, it's okay to be a business owner, but being a business owner is more than just transactions. Yes. Like it's more than transactions. It's more than just your skill or your product that you're selling. It's you literally got to know the business. You got to know about your monies. You got to know about just everything. You have a business plan. What is
everything.
Yeah.
So it's
even
important.
with managing your social media account. I know I have made a comment where,
yeah.
I was looking for someone to do hair color, right? And someone reached out to me, sent me a private message like, hey, I'm a stylist and I've been in the business for 12 years. Here's my Instagram page so you can see my work. I clicked on the link. She gave me the name of her Instagram page. I went on there, I searched, and the result that came back was someone who was a coach. In the bio, it said, oh, I'm a life coach and I can help you with life choices or whatever. So I'm thinking, well, this don't say nothing about no hair. You said you've been in the business for 12 years. Yep. This don't say nothing about hair. And it was a private account. So I responded back to her and was like, and I took a screenshot of it, just of the name part, and I sent it back to her and I said, is this you? And I said, because I'm looking for a stylist, but this bio says something about a life coach. She never responded back. So I was like, well, I guess you did me a favor. Right. Because and then that's the thing. I'm like, when you are out there trying to produce your brand, like, you have to make sure that your business brand is separate from everything
your personal
else.
Brand.
You can have,
definitely.
You can have 5 jobs.
Yep.
You can have 5 jobs.
You need to have 5 Instagram pages.
Thank you.
Okay.
Separate from your personal.
Really.
Because when I'm coming to your
I don't care
Instagram,
about your kids.
Thank you.
No, I don't.
Not yet. Maybe
Not
I'm
yet.
a customer for a couple times. Maybe I do. But my thing is, if I'm going to your Instagram page because you say you do hair, you say you make jewelry, you make clothes, that's what I want to see on your Instagram page, to see if that's something that, if your style is what I'm looking for. The nails. If you say you do nails, when I go to your Instagram page, I need to see your work doing your nails. I don't want to see pictures of you and your husband, even though y'all are super cute and y'all balling. Yes. I don't want to see pictures of you and your kids. Like, it needs to be about your business, because I'm not about to pay you and your husband to come over and have dinner with me. I'm trying to come to your page because I would need to see
your
business.
Nails.
Yeah, I need to see your business. So just little things like that. It's definitely need to do better.
We got to get better on that type of stuff. Yeah. Like, but I will always say that we are on the rise, y'all.
Yes.
Black folks, we on the rise.
Yes.
We just got our freedom a couple hundred years ago. So we have to learn the business aspect of things. Yes. But if you want your business to thrive and survive, be willing to learn and invest in yourself.
Yes, I definitely agree.
It's important.
I've heard several people say that. Oh, I know how to do hair. I don't need to go to school.
No, but
all I do is braid. I don't need to go to school. Well, sweetie, you need to learn how to do
everything.
Even if you are only braiding, you still need to understand about scalp, how to keep the scalp healthy, because there are so many people who have different scalp conditions, and if you use too much tension, you're going to make a sister ball. Yeah. So why not go to school to learn that?
And then when you do learn and you gain them little certificates, you might feel like, they mean nothing, but no, every certificate that you earn, you can charge somebody more and more and more, because now you're certified in certain areas. So you definitely want to, invest in yourself. Yeah. But come on, y'all, because we as business owners, we gotta get it together.
And like I said, and sometimes it makes me so angry because, like I said before, we're just naturally talented. Like, people are just so gifted in so many different ways, but we want to do stuff as a side hustle. Right. You want to do stuff as a side hustle. No. Like, you really can feed your family off of doing hair. Yeah. You can feed your family off of doing nails. Like, my eyebrow, the lady that I go to, don't judge, because
I know, as soon as you say eyebrows,
don't judge my eyebrows. I struggle. But anyway, I digress. So not about it, So anyway, my eyebrow lady, she started out in Sephora. Mm-hmm. She did eyebrows there for Sephora, and then she wanted to go out on her own, and her coworkers was like, how are you going to make money just doing eyebrows? Guess what? She started out in her home, and I've been with her for, again, don't look at my eyebrows, but I've been with her for a while. She started out in her home, and what I mean by, and I always say that, to me, she is the perfect example of investing back into her business. I went to her the first time. She just had like a regular chair that she was trying to make do. But after she made a certain amount of money, she upgraded her chair that it could recline a little bit. I noticed that her light that she uses to do the eyebrows, she invested and got a better one. Yep. The next thing you know, she was able to, she got up enough business, and then she moved into a salon space. It was shared with another nail salon or whatever. But even while she was in there, she had different tables. She was always reconfiguring things. She made sure that her space was clean. She, would make sure even these just aesthetically, painting the walls, putting up decorations, having different motivational things on the wall, like your eyebrows are sisters, not their cousins, not twins or something like different things like that. And now she's in her salon by herself. She has an assistant, and she's looking for a bigger space. So to the people who said, "How you gonna make a living on your eyebrows?" That's how you make a living on doing just eyebrows.
I don't even know her, but go girl. Yes, that's inspirational.
So that's and when I talk to her, she's always looking for different places to get some better education. She does eyebrow tinting. She does I forgot what it's called, the tattooing of the eyebrows, whatever. Yeah. She went to school, and then when she got her certification, she doesn't stop educating herself. If she finds out that there's like another conference over in DC with a different person that she follows online or whatever, she invests and she goes to that class to see what they have to learn, to see how can she better her technique. Yes. And I feel like, to me, like I said, she's like the prime example of how you should be when you're in the business. And like I said, and I tell her all the time, like, I'm so proud of her. Like, and she's a Black woman. She's a young female, and I think she's younger than me. Or we're around about the same age, so it's not like she's older or super young or whatever. But and not only does she have an assistant, but she's training her assistant to be able to do eyebrows. Wow. So now when she gets into her bigger salon, her assistant will now be able to have her own chair, and then have to hire an assistant for the both of them.
Wow! Right? Wow! See, that's awesome. Right? So that made me feel so good on the inside. Oh wow! That's so cool.
Yeah, she's really awesome. I'm really, and I stick with her because I can't do a darn thing with my own eyebrows on my own. But she's the bomb. She's the bomb.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, like she's really cool.
So Black business owners, take notes.
Yes, and there's definitely wrong.
Notes. There's nothing wrong with investing in yourself.
Yes.
And expanding your business, because that's all it's about. You don't want to get in the business and be the same place where you was in year one. You want to show
some growth
in year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. You just want to grow.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Tell him, Mike. Yeah. Having this conversation. Yes, like this is awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. This is really good. I thank you so much for coming over, right? Yeah, this is really cool.
So excited to speak to the Gummies.
Yes. Hopefully this won't be the last time.
No, please invite me back.
Yes. Definitely have to do it again.
Yes.
But thank you so much, Gummies, for watching. I hope that after watching this, that you will be encouraged, that you will, take something away and maybe start your own topic. Because like I said, it's always just about having a conversation. Yeah. Not saying that, me and Antinette have all of the answers and we know and what you need to do is follow everything we need to say. No, because Mikkel always gets on me about my disclaimers.
Oh, okay.
So that's the disclaimer. We're not coming to you as experts. No. We're coming to you as just two people who watched the Netflix series and we just wanted to have a conversation. Yeah. So hopefully it sparked a conversation for you. Please leave some comments below. Follow me on Instagram. Follow Antinette Develops on Instagram. Please. And we will be bumping our gums again sometime, right?
Yes. See y'all. Nice meeting y'all.
Have a good day on purpose, guys.
Please.